So I wanted to see if this new drugstore color corrector was really able to cover my dark circles. So we are going to be testing that out today. So if you want to see the results, please stay tuned for the rest of the video. So here we are up close and personal with my dark circles. So as you can see, they're pretty bad. But to begin, we are going to moisturize that area. So I'm starting with the CeraVe Eye Repair Cream. And guys, let me tell you, if you want your under eyes to look smooth and to look healthy, you definitely need to moisturize it. So I'm going to be starting off with just 3 dots of that Eye Repair Cream. And then with my ring finger, which is the softest finger on your hand, I'm going to just take that and gently begin to work it in. As you can see, I'm just using gentle patting motions and stroke motions to work that eye repair cream into the under eye. You want to be as gentle as possible to not cause even more dark circles. So this is the Neutrogena Clear Coverage Correcting Concealer in the color Deep Peach. This retails for about $11.99 to $12.99. So I wanted to give you some swatches of it so that way you can see the consistency up close really quick. And as you can see, it is very creamy and it is a very peachy / orange type color, and that is the overall packaging. So now it's time for the application. As with any color corrector I've ever used, I'm going to start off with a small amount. Because I've never used this before, I don't know how it's going to really blend or work. So we are starting small. So that is how much we are going to use to begin this application process. We can build later. I'm going to be using my number 57 Sephora blending brush. This is great for blending concealers and color correctors. I've been using it for a long time and I like the shape of it. It works really well. Spray that with just a little bit of setting spray. This works really well to help the color corrector or your concealer blend in even well when you use like a slightly damp brush. Now we are going to go to the blending process. As you can see, I'm going to start off with the gentle tapping motions, and I'm really going to work on blending this color corrector in over the extreme dark parts of my hyperpigmentation. First, when you have color corrector, you always want to start with the deepest, darkest parts and then blend to the lighter areas. So I have blended that in, and now let's take a look at what this first layer looks like. So guys, please comment below and let me know what you think of the coverage of this color corrector so far. So now I'm going to move on to the bridge of my nose. You can see that that's like really bad hyperpigmentation too. So I started off with 1 dot. And as you can see with this color corrector, because of like the applicator, it was a little difficult for me just to put like a tiny bit on there, but it's fine because I'm just going to work on blending that out and making sure to get it as even as possible. When you are using your color correctors, you want to blend them down to a skin-like finish, and that goes for whatever type you use. I've tried both high-end and low-end ones, and it's all the same. You want it to blend as smoothly and as seamlessly as possible, so that way when you use your concealer, you get good coverage both ways. So I'm going to continue to blend that to the best of my ability there. So this is what we look like with the nose bridge and the under eye. So again, guys, let me know what you think of the coverage. When I look at this, I still see some hyperpigmentation coming through in some areas. So I'm just going to build this up. And that's the good thing about, you know, doing your makeup. Like, you don't have to slather everything on at one time. You can take your time and build up, especially if you are trying a new product, right? If you're trying a new product, you can take your time and just build it up and see how things look and see how things work. So now you're going to see me blend that again over the bridge of the nose. I try to take special care of the bridge of the nose because that part is especially dark, and it can be difficult to really hide that with, you know, concealer and with color corrector sometimes if the color corrector just isn't, you know, giving that level of coverage that you want and that you need. So I have blended both in to the best of my abilities without trying to disrupt the initial coverage. So this is what we look like with another layer of that that color corrector built up. I still see a little bit of the hyperpigmentation breaking through, so kind of that's like one kind of tick mark off for this color corrector. I still kind of see things poking through, but we're going to try to deal with that. So now I'm going to use my MAC 24 Hour Studio Concealer. This is one of my faves, and it's in the color NC50. I like this not only because of the coverage, but also because it's like a perfect color match for me. So now I'm going to take about 4 strokes of the concealer under the eye. As you can see, this is very smooth and creamy. And now I'm going to wait about 20 to 30 seconds so this can dry down, because that helps to build the coverage. So if you want more coverage for your concealer, let it dry down just a little bit. Now I'm going to, with a damp beauty blender, I'm going to blend everything in. So I'm going to blend this full coverage concealer over top of this color corrector. And just another note, guys, if you really want to cover those dark circles seamlessly and flawlessly, you definitely want to use a full coverage concealer that gives you a skin-like finish. I like this MAC concealer so much because it blends in. I have literally just done this technique alone without any other makeup on, and because it's so skin-like and because it's such a great match to my skin tone, I'm just able to walk out of the door like once I put the concealer on. So I'm going to continue to blend that in, blend it in again until it looks like skin, because when it looks like skin, you definitely win in the game of concealing and color correcting. So now that I've done the final touches, let's take a look. So comment below and let me know what you think of how it looks right now with this concealer and color corrector combo. I think honestly that this looks pretty darn good, but you guys let me know what you think about how this looks. I'm looking at it and I cannot see the color corrector breaking through down there, but let's move forward. So now the bridge of the nose again, I like to tackle that separately so that way I can control the level of coverage and as well as the amount of product that I am using, so that way I won't put too much on and have nowhere to blend it. So I'm blending it in over top and it looks like it's going on pretty well, but I did notice that as I blended it in, I did have some breakthrough with the hyperpigmentation. It was looking kind of gray there. So I'm just going to try to put a little more concealer on top of that area to see if that makes it better. So I'm going to blend that a little bit, and this is what we look like right now with both parts being blended with that concealer on top. So it looks pretty okay. Now we're going to move on to the setting portion. I am going to set this with a little bit of setting powder using that brush. This is the Laura Mercier setting powder in the color Honey. Just going to take that much onto the top, because we don't need too much if we're doing a natural look, especially if you're just on the go. You just want to use a little bit of powder. I'm going to tap off the excess, and that's how much we are going to use for the under eye. So what I like to do is take that brush, and with that powder, that setting powder, I just like to gently press it in wherever I put the concealer to set it and to make it look good, and also to maintain that skin-like finish, because sometimes using too much powder doesn't make your skin look like skin. So that's what it looks like after that tiny layer of powder. I do feel like I see the color corrector definitely breaking through on the bridge of the nose, and also that hyperpigmentation poking through on the bridge of the nose as well. But I'm going to spray it with just a little bit of setting spray so that it can dry down. Again, once this dries, it should look very much like skin and give us a nice finish, and let us see pretty much like the whole picture of how the whole application process worked. So this is the final look, guys, with everything blended. All in all, I would say that this Neutrogena color corrector was okay. Is it going to be a fave? No, probably not, but you are more than welcome to try it. But let me know what you think below. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel and clicking on that notification bell for more videos. Stay blessed until the next one, guys. Bye.